Have you heard that the best way to sleep is actually to co-sleep next to your child because that is the natural order of things and that creates a strong bond between parent and child that is helpful for this little child as they grow up into adulthood? Well, if so, this video is for you because this very question came up today in our program, in our membership program, which is still, we're still beta testing it. But it was something like this. I don't know actually word for word, but Sarah, who was there, said, "Is it best to co-sleep because this is a natural way to create a bond with our children?" And of course, I misspelled that. I said without children, but it should be our children. So we'll fix that live with our children. And she said that this is a common idea that floats around in the parent space, and it's a tricky one because whenever we hear we should do something, it can create some pressure, some kind of questioning, and some ideas that do not necessarily lead towards that, those peaceful nights at home. So let's take a close look at this. We're going to look at bonding from a child's perspective, and we're going to look at bonding from the parent perspective. And then we're going to see that sleeping is actually always natural, and that the more we have a flexible sort of mindset, the more peaceful things get, including our sleep. But without jumping ahead too much, let's go to our first topic here, which is bonding from a child's perspective. And the question of co-sleeping is, it's not so common when we have a teenage child, right? But it's very common when we have an infant and a toddler, so something in that age range. Right now, an infant sleeping well in their crib clearly feels safe, has no notion of something, there's nothing missing there, and they don't really require anything. Um it's at least is my firm belief that a child, is perfectly capable to tell us if they are in need of something, including bonding, because bonding really from the child's perspective is about safety. So, you know if we have a toddler or an infant who sleeps well independently, that to me that shows me that they are not in need of anything, including bonding. Because again, a child who isn't feeling safe, a child who isn't feeling safe or is hungry or needs something, they will let us know this by crying, or a little bit older child will maybe tell us what is going on. And then if that child doesn't feel safe at night or they need something, then there is an opportunity for bonding, because bonding happens when we have a shared experience, and we share we show a child that we care for them. And the thing with this bonding is that it can happen whether we co-sleep or not. Because again, showing that we love our kids, showing them that we're there for them, and making them feel safe, that leads to bonding. And that could be many things, except for co-sleeping. We can maybe just leave the door open for an older child. We can maybe talk to them, see that there's really nothing to be afraid of, you're perfectly safe. Or we can stay with the child until they fall asleep and then let them sleep by themselves. Or we can co-sleep. Anything that makes a child feel safe and loved and cared for leads to bonding from the child's perspective. So co-sleeping is not required for that whatsoever. But how about from a parent perspective? Like maybe for us parents, we form a stronger bond, on our end. It's a little tricky because the bond is kind of mutual, right? But like our end of the bond, let's say that as parents, is that strengthened by co-sleeping? Well, let's look at these two examples. Let's imagine somebody who's sleeping, or in this case, like they're awake next to the child, but quote unquote co-sleeping, and thinking, this is such a wonderful time. I get to sleep next to my little one. This is amazing. This is wonderful. To me, that creates a bond. That creates a bond between that parent and their child. But if we look at a parent who's thinking this instead, oh my gosh, how much longer do I have to keep laying here to create this bond? They're clearly not bonding, because from the parent's perspective, then it's feeling that we have provided safety, we have provided love, we have created a safe environment. That creates a bond. And that feeling comes from how we think about, for example, co-sleeping. And so co-sleeping is not required for a bond from the parent perspective. Now, finally here, an argument for co-sleeping is that this is the natural order of things. But we can look at a couple of questions here, and I think that can be quite illuminating. Is creating an advanced form of a cave, let's say, our ancestors, they found a cave and they're like, oh, this is nice, let's stay here. But we create a more advanced cave with like multiple dwellings, multiple rooms, I should say. Is that unnatural? Or was it just that, like, back in the day, they really didn't have the skills to do that? Or what about other things? So, like, what part of our existence on this planet is actually natural? Like electricity, running water, like, a screen, a backlit screen. Is that natural? And if you say no, then is that bad? Is sleeping in a bed really natural? Or how about this one? Is questioning our parenting decisions and is sharing our like sharing ideas about what we should or shouldn't do natural? Like this whole question comes from Sarah hearing things online about what they should and shouldn't do. Like, is questioning our parent decisions, or like telling other people what they should and shouldn't do, is that natural or not natural? uh I think probably most of us will agree that all of this is natural. It's just the things that happen in nature, and we're part of nature. And I think, to me, this leads to this, this kind of final idea here, that the more we see that there's nothing innately unnatural about a child sleeping by themselves or co-sleeping, the less judgment there's going to be, the less pressure on us to do the right thing, the more freedom we have, and the more we have those peaceful, pressureless nights in our houses, in our homes. So, yeah, really want to share this with you. Hope it makes a lot of sense. As always, let us know in the comment sections what you thought. And also, if you have questions, I'd be really happy to share my thoughts on them. And of course, Coach Jamie as well. She happens to be working today. So again, it's just me here, but she's also very excited about new subscribers and then comments, etc. So yeah, hope this made sense to you. Look forward to hearing from you, and more to follow. Bye for now.